Hey, welcome back to another episode of Rags to Riches. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Dr. Daryl, and she will be telling us about her journey of losing weight. Hello, Dr. Daryl. How are you?
Hello, beautiful. I am good. How are you today?
I am great. All right, let's get into this.
Let's
Tell
get
us your
into it.
story.
It's funny when you said that I get little tingles because it's an amazing story. Even if it were not me and I was looking from the outside, I would be like, dang, she the bomb.
Right, right.
Um, so I started gaining weight at the age of 2. And by the age of 7, my mother took me for the first time and joined Weight Watchers. And I think I joined Weight Watchers like 28 times between the age of 7 and the age of 28, where I finally decided to have weight loss surgery. So, had my surgery, didn't work out for me, went back in like almost 2 years later, had it again. Come to find out, the first surgeon did not hook up everything correctly. And so I wasn't successful with that first surgery. But here's the kicker: my second surgery wasn't considered successful either. Because
Oh
in
no.
order, yeah, in order to be considered a successful surgery, you have to lose a certain percentage of your weight. Well, that's funny because my highest weight was 674 pounds, which is like,
Wow.
a motorcycle, two vending machines is together is like 700 pounds.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and so when I say that weight, people always, I get that same reaction, like, oh my goodness. But what's so funny is when you grow up and you're used to being heavy like that, you just you just deal with it. You
Right.
just go through the motions. And at that time, I think I've lost maybe about 240 to 230 pounds. I really need to go back through my journals to see the exact how much I lost from that surgery. And my husband and I, we started our family. We have back to back girls. I was pregnant for like 3 years in a row. And then I stayed there for like 10 years because I kept telling myself, girl, you good. You used to weigh almost, at the time, and I'll get into that story later. I thought my starting weight was 621 pounds because that was the last weight that I was given when I went in, maybe like 2 months before my surgery. That was the last weight. And then a couple of years ago, I got my medical records and I read that when they weighed me on the morning of my surgery, I was 674 pounds. So,
Oh wow.
yes, if y'all get my book, y'all gonna see 621 because that's what I thought it was too. So my highest weight was 674. And like I said, we had back to back babies, and I just got complacent thinking, okay, God, if my life improved a lot, but deep down inside, I knew I still wasn't happy. I knew that it was still hard for me to get around. And I started exercising. I would go to a Zumba class, and I was going 6 days a week. And when I got home, my husband would have to come outside and help me out the car. That's how much in pain I was. And I got,
Wow.
a little result from going to Zumba, and then started to gain it back. And then I said, okay, well, let me try my food and really, work on my food, writing down the calories and all of that stuff. And I started to go plant-based, and I got a little bit of result from that as well. And that kind of stopped. Then I realized you're doing all of this stuff, but you never really truly believed that the weight was going to be gone. I never truly
Right.
believed that because when you grow up, like I said, I grew up really heavy. I was three in the 300s in middle school. I was in the 400s in high school, and that was just life. So to see that picture of that light at the end of the tunnel, that there was no light at the end of the tunnel for me because it was all that I knew. So I started really doing some self reflections and I started saying affirmations. And my first affirmation was, I am disciplined and focused. Got it tattooed right here, girl.
All right.
So that was my first affirmation. And when I tell you, I said it all day, every day. And was I disciplined to focus? Absolutely not. But eventually I started feeling like, all right, I'm disciplined and focused. I have a trainer. Even when I'm not with my trainer, I'm doing my exercises. I'm, doing my plant-based eating, and I'm watching what I'm doing. And I'm thinking, okay, this kind of thinking and retraining your mind and your subconscious mind, this is kind of working out for me. Now that affirmation has evolved into I'm disciplined, focused, persistent, and consistent.
Right.
But it is the basis of my program that I use with my clients, because it doesn't matter. We all know how to lose weight. I'm sure you can give me a rundown right now. This is how you lose weight, and everybody knows how to lose weight. The problem is being consistent with it.
Right.
And what I try to tell people is you have to change who you are. I'm no longer 674-pound Daryl. I don't think like her anymore. But let's talk about her for a second. Because I have my clients, I need you to think of yourself as two people. And when I think about her, like, do you know anybody that's walking around that's almost 700 pounds? I don't know how she did that. And yes, I'm talking about her in third person because, again, I'm no longer her.
Right.
But I love her and I appreciate her so much because she's the one who made the decision to have the surgery. She's the one who made the decision, this ain't working, I'm going to have to go back in and see another surgeon. She's the one who made all of those decisions. Just like 10 years from now, I'm not going to be the same person that you're talking to. And I'm going to be thanking the person that you're looking at right now for making better decisions for me so I can be a better version of me 10 years from now. So I always think of myself as two people, because your subconscious mind, they look for you, it looks to you for direction. It looks to you for guidance. And guess what else it does? It does exactly what you tell it to do. So if you're sitting around all day telling yourself, I'm fat, I'm not pretty, I'm never going to be able to do this, even though you're not saying it, it goes through your entire body, and your subconscious mind is working on that all day
Right.
long. So when I first went plant based, I used to say, I started with I don't eat meat. So, I would be at a restaurant, my husband would go out, I would be somewhere, and, somebody's offer me something. I was like, girl, I don't eat meat. And girl, I just had a chicken wing the day before. But that is what I don't eat meat. No, I don't eat meat. And eventually it just got easier to not eat meat. It's been
Right.
8 years since I've had meat.
Wow.
So if you would have asked me 7 years ago, because even a year into it, I really didn't think, I don't think this is going to work. I would have said, nah, that's not going to work. And I changed my whole family to plant based. And so they're at different levels. My girls are teenagers now, they make their own decisions. But I wanted to make sure that I had different alternative ways for them to eat so that they can live a healthy life. And I think I did really good with that. They make really good food choices. And so do I now for myself, because now I'm like totally in love with myself. You have
Right.
to get to know yourself all over again. You have to date yourself. You have to completely fall in love with yourself, because when you do, you make better decisions. Now, that's just not about food or exercising. That's about people in your life, mother, sister, father, whoever. No, you're not working out for me. So I'm going to have to love you from
A
afar.
distant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm making a better decision for myself. So push comes, to today. And I don't necessarily share all the time how much I weigh, because it turns into my joy being equated to a number. And I teach people, well, would you rather be a number, or would you rather be happy, able to move, able to be able to walk 5 blocks? Girl, can you run and somebody start chasing you?
Right.
That's the size I want to be. I want to be that size. And so, I always like to say I'm a size sexy now. That's what I am. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I came up with my tagline, which is cute, curvy, confident. And it's no and in between. It's just all fluent, honey. Cute, curvy,
Hello.
confident, all together.
Hello.
And you can see I'm still plus size, but I feel amazing. And you cannot say that being skinny is equal to being healthy. Now, my ask was to God since I was little, God, I just want to be skinny. Please make me skinny. You know, you see all these little girls and they're small, and every summer I could never fit the clothes that I had last summer because I was just continuously gaining weight, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I went through that mindset shift, I really said, you know what, let me sit down and think to myself, well, what does skinny look like for me? So I wrote down things and I realized it wasn't that I wanted to be skinny. I just wanted to have a better life. You
Right.
know, my husband used to have to drop me off at the door because I couldn't walk far. You know, if we went out to dinner, he would go to the restaurant prior to see if they had arms on the chair. I couldn't just go into the mall and shop in the store. Those were my skinny things that I wanted. And once I realized these are the things that I wanted, it was way easier to say, oh, I can do that instead of saying, oh, I can weigh 175 pounds. I know I
Right.
wouldn't even be cute at 175 pounds. I'm good. I'm good. But what I do is I focus on my wellness and my health. I'm right now transitioning to a high raw vegan, which is everything that I eat is raw except for one meal a day will be a heated or cooked vegan meal. And trust me, I swear, y'all, I'm not sitting around going, oh, I think I'll be a raw vegan today. It is something that speaks to you. When you truly are
Right.
aligned with yourself, and you sit and you reflect on things that you want, your body speaks to you. You know, there's certain diseases that run in my family, which is what really started me on my plant-based journey. And it's not genetics, it's that your genetics respond to the food the same way. So I knew that I had to start eating a different way than other family members, because my household that I grew up with, which is both parents and my brother, all three of them got some form of cancer.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm saying, I'm already heavy. I don't need no other kind of health problems now. I don't need no whatever. Like, I'm already dealing with, during that time, still losing the weight. And I was just saying, let me just do things differently. And I prayed all the time. But when I started saying the affirmations and I started to meditate, and you know, we'll have some religious people in here that would say, oh, you're not supposed to meditate. Praying, when you pray, you're praying to God, you're talking to Him. But when you sit with yourself and meditate, you allow yourself to listen to what God is saying to you.
Right.
And that is really the basis of what I do, what I teach my client. And my clients are mainly women who have a lot of weight to lose. It's hard to lose 50 pounds versus
Hmm.
5 pounds. Now, let me put in a disclaimer for my people trying to lose 5 pounds. I feel y'all. What I realized that as I got smaller, 5 or 10 pounds makes a big difference in your clothes. I was
True.
not privy to that weighing 674 pounds. And 5 pounds didn't mean nothing when you weighed that much. But I do see now that, you know, if like COVID, I gained like 20 pounds. I felt those 20 pounds a lot, where,
Mm.
you know, if I was 600 and something, I mean, I went from 621 to 674 in a matter of like 2 months before my surgery, and didn't even realize it. So when you're that heavy, 5 or 10 pounds really doesn't make a difference. So I just wanted to say that to my people out there that's trying to lose 5 pounds. So keep it up. I understand, keep it up. But also know that age, you know, menopause, I'm 52, that stuff plays intact. And what I won't do is spend the rest of my life living by somebody else's beauty standards. I have my own, and we all beauty over
That's
here.
right. Hello.
We're all
That's
beautiful
right.
over here. Q Carry confident over here. So I know that's like a long story, like intertwined, but I always like to be, you know, very clear with that story, because I don't want people to think that when you lose weight, you're automatically happy. And that's why you'll see a lot of people who lose weight and they gain it back, or they lose
Right.
it and they're still unhappy because they never address this part of them. And you
Right.
have to address that part, because all of the things that I use to finish losing that weight, I can apply it to anything. I apply it to my business. I apply it to my marriage. Apply it to my life. I deserve to wake up feeling absolutely amazing, because abundance is my birthright. And so I
Absolutely.
love the title of your show, Rags to Riches, because that's how I feel. Like, girl, I'm rich now. You
I know
know,
that's real.
because I didn't just lose, over 400 pounds. I lost countless pounds of emotional weight. I lost
Yeah.
the self doubt. I lost, the self hate. I lost the sabotaging myself. Those are like the things that I really like to talk about what I lost. But of course, I like when y'all say, "What? Over 400 pounds?" Yes, honey. But trust
Honey,
me.
you look good, that's for sure.
Thank you. I
You
feel
look
good.
really
Thank
good.
you.
Absolutely. So when you say that about the emotion, does that play a big part of you gaining weight?
I think it was not think, I know. It was a learned behavior. And although, my mother didn't know what to do. And when you look at weight gaining and being able to maintain that weight, we have to stop looking at people like, oh, she must be sitting around eating all day. I did not.
Right.
I have a low thyroid, and that just also like played into it. And then my mother didn't know what to do. She tried to scare me into doing it. It took me a long time to just forgive her for all of the things that she used to say to me, telling me that, I was never going to get married. I wasn't going to go to school. They don't hire fat people.
Oh,
I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff. But what I ended up doing is working so hard and proving her wrong at everything
right.
that she said. But I also realized that you have to meet people where they are, and nobody, no mother wants their child, their 10-year-old, to weigh almost 300 pounds. Because so she just said things to try to get me to lose the weight. So I think part of that, and it was traumatizing. It is what
Right.
it is, and she knows how I feel about it. But I couldn't. I know in high school I cried almost every night, and I would pray to God, just don't wake me up.
Oh,
Let me die in my sleep. I'm good. I've been down here long enough. I am good. And even as a younger child, like 8 or 9, I wanted to die, because it was just like you're fat, which means automatically meant that you were awful, because that's what I was being told. So I
right.
do think that emotional part played a lot in me just eating, because eating is comforting to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Most of y'all out there that eat a lot and don't gain weight, y'all just lucky. But y'all
Right.
sitting around eating, y'all sitting around eating the same way we were sitting around eating when gaining weight. We use food for everything, and it's different when you have that addiction. Because if I was addicted to cigarettes, I don't need cigarettes to live. I can't stop eating. So
Right.
I needed to really manage the drug that I had. And it wasn't about fueling my body, which now when I look at my food, I look at it, does it heal and nourishes my body? I'm more selective in what I put into my body. Whereas before it was just, oh, mac and cheese, you could just pile that on my plate. I just want all of it. So yeah, emotion played a big part, and it still does to this day. I play on
Right.
my emotions because I think about how good I feel. I think about how I feel when I walk into a room, or if I have people to say, oh, you're so pretty, or congratulations on your weight loss. I use those emotions to help me to maintain and be where I am. But the most important emotion is my self-love for myself. The other
Absolutely.
things are added things.
Absolutely. So what is the hardest part about losing weight?
I think the hardest part about losing the weight is the roller coaster ride. Because most of us, even though we may know how to lose weight, you exercise and you eat less. That's what most people think that's what you do. And you can lose weight with that. But you have to play in the emotional part and the mindset part. And you also have to be a little scientific about how your body, because we all lose and gain weight in different ways. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that, we don't take enough time to truly figure out what is best for us. And the best way to do that is just to sit and be still and journal. I use journaling a lot in my practice because that clarity is not there. And we often just think, I want to do this and I want to stop eating this and I want to stop eating that. But you haven't addressed, why are you overeating? Why are you
Right.
going to food for comfort? instead of going to a good song. I'm sure almost every one of your listeners, they got their favorite song. I changed my theme song, so y'all think I'm crazy by the end of the show. I have theme songs that I walk into the room on, and y'all may see me like, why is she dancing? Because honey, I always got a song playing, because music is what get anybody up and dancing.
True.
So
True.
and so you use things like that instead of I'm upset, let me go eat this. Put on your song and dance. You need alternative ways to deal with that need to eat, and you need to dig a little bit deeper. Why do you turn to food for the comfort?
Right. I agree. So how can a person incorporate foods that they enjoy without feeling deprived?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, whatever I want, I'm going to eat it. Now, and I need to come up with a new word. And I'm a special educator by trade, and being a teacher, we can make up any word we want to. So I'm going to have to create a word, because I don't like to call myself vegan, because veganism is a lifestyle. They aren't going to wear any clothes that's, made by animals. Honey, if I see a cute purse and a cute matching pair of leather shoes,
I know that's
they're going to kick me out of their community, right? So what I do, if I go to a party and they have cake, I'm not asking anybody, do you have eggs in this cake? Because
right.
I'm going to eat me a slice of cake. What I won't do is eat meat. I will not eat meat. Now, Mission Barbecue, them baked beans are really good. I only eat them every now and then. They cook them with the meat and the beans.
Right.
So, girl, I'm sitting there just picking out the meat. But
The
a
meat.
vegan is not going to eat that because
Right.
it was cooked in the meat.
Right.
So you have to come up with what is acceptable to you. I'm not willing to deprive myself of that, because that's something that I like. However, I don't want the meat in my body, like
Right.
a full piece of meat. And so I
Right.
come up with my own rules for me. I'm not going to deprive myself.
I know that's
So,
real.
I dibble dabble in dairy. I like a fried egg every now and then. I like some grits. Now I done tried the grits with y'all little almond milk and the vegan, but it don't taste the same.
Right. No.
So when I have that craving for some grits, I need some real cow's butter. I need some real cow's milk, and I will have my taste of the grits, and then I'm good for a couple of months. You have to come up with some type of balance.
Right.
Because if you do deprive yourself, all you're going to do is think about that one thing that you haven't had all day long. Then you're going to go and get it, and you're going to eat 10 times more than what you would have eaten if you just would have went and had what you wanted.
Right.
So yeah, I don't deprive myself.
Absolutely. So how do your friends and family support your journey?
My family is absolutely amazing. I have my husband, and I'm sure my husband's just tired of me talking about him. I always have to mention him because
I do the same. So
I said, look, you might as well just jump on here and call this Daryl and George show. But we've been knowing each other since childhood. We've been together since the 10th grade. So my husband knows that struggle of me crying every day. He knows the struggle before I had the surgery. He knows that struggle. I was just at work one day, and my knees started hurting. I went to the doctor, and they was like, "Oh, you have the knees of a 70-year-old woman." And I was 28 at the time, and I was actually on disability for almost 2 years, like a year after we got married, because I could barely walk. And so he supports me in anything, and I can truly say I know that he loved me before because he was there, and of course he loves me now because he sees how happy I am, but he also supports me in anything that I do. So he does my podcast for me. I can wake up at 2:48 and tap him, be like, I got an idea, could you wake up? And he'd be like, okay, what's the idea? And then my girls are like my, cheerleaders, and with teenagers, sometimes you know that they know the things that you do, and every now and then I get that glimpse of, okay, I think I'm doing the right thing. Just like being a teacher, you really don't get that satisfaction until they like grown and they come back and be like, you are an excellent teacher. Really? Because while you were in my classroom, you were right. Me. So yeah, so I get a glimpse. So they're very, very supportive in what I do. They know that my goal is every time I step in front of another woman that feels bad about their weight, it is my mission to make her feel better about her situation. And
Right.
so my motto is, I'm going to help you lose a significant amount of weight. I'm going to help you to keep it off. But guess what? I'm going to help you to feel amazing while you're doing it. You do not wait until you lose no 50 pounds before you go buy a dress. Honey, we're going to get a dress right now. Then we'll get you another one when you get there.
Right.
That's important that you feel good about yourself during the journey. That's key. That's very, very important.
Absolutely. So how do you monitor your progress?
Right now, I really go by my clothes. I weigh myself because I have one of those spiffy scales that gives me like the body fat and
Hmm.
all of that stuff. Because
I
yeah,
got one.
yeah. So that's one of my goals now is to work on my body fat and to build up the muscle. But
Right.
it's also a true indicator. I can get on there in the morning and then by 5 hours later, I done gained 5 pounds if I just happen to go and get on it. So I don't live by that because if you
Right.
do that, you're just going to set yourself up for
For
failure.
failure. Right.
And for those of you poor people, you poor women who still get that thing every month, thank you, God. I
I
don't
don't.
know that.
Me neither.
Girl, it is
Hallelujah.
the best thing in the world, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. But I feel sorry for them because I'm like, you really got to be careful because that will
Hmm.
change your weight like that.
Hmm.
And even with us now being in full menopause, like your metabolism is totally different. And so I just decided that I'm not going to spend the rest of my life counting calories because there's studies to show that that doesn't work either. You really need to learn how to eat for your body and
Right.
listen. We listen to everything on TV. We listen to, and I'm sorry, the good old US of A. I don't trust you about my food. I don't trust the pesticides that you're putting on it. And so I know for me and in my self-care, I want to put things in my body that's going to have me talking to you just like this when I'm 95.
Right.
And right now, y'all not doing it. So I know that, eventually I'm going to have a garden. And then that way I could just eat from my garden. And you know how people say, girl, that's just too much. You have to evolve to this if you want to. This is my journey. So, a lot of my clients, they're not stopping eating meat. It's not what they want to do. It's just that they want to feel better about themselves. And every female wants to feel beautiful in their
Hmm.
clothes.
Right.
Who doesn't? I
Absolutely.
couldn't meet now. I don't think I can meet now one female who doesn't want to be sexy.
Right. I agree with you. So which one is more important to you, diet or the weight loss?
I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna change your word diet because when
Okay.
we think of diet, it's a restriction. It's almost like even a word. I even hate the word exercise. I don't use that a lot. I use moving your body for benefit because you look at children in the way they play. They're jumping. They're using all of the muscles that you and I at our age. That's why we stiff when we get up because we don't.
Hmm.
So even simple as when I wake up, I do my neck when I wake up because I don't use these muscles a lot. So I'm going to change that word diet to your way of eating, your way of making your body feel good, your way of. I have lymphedema from one of my surgeries. I ended up getting lymphedema, and when I went plant based, I've been at stage 1 in my lymphedema since 2012. And
Wow.
so I know that going plant based helped me physically. So, but I don't like to use the word diet. So I'm going to say way of eating. I'm going to say way of eating is way more important than me than losing any more weight because it's somebody that weighs 30 pounds less than me and they in and out of the hospital. They should be wanting to trade with me any day.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you had 110%. So do you how much water should a person drink?
Oh, I love that question. Okay, so let me tell y'all. Now, if you go through my social media a couple of years ago, you're gonna see me. Oh, I'm drinking my gallon of water. When I tell you my urine was clear, you couldn't even tell that I had been to the bathroom. Now, I know y'all say that's too much information, but just keep listening. I had my places throughout, and I am an administrator, so I have several schools that I manage. So I would travel to different schools. I had different places for me to go to the bathroom that I knew those bathrooms were clean because I was drinking so much water.
Right.
Waste, complete waste of my time. You
Really?
do not have to drink a gallon of water. You do not have to drink half of your body weight in water. Let me tell you what you need to do. Your urine should be a pale yellow. If it's clear, you're drinking too much. If it's really dark yellow, you're not drinking enough. And I'm gonna say you're not drinking and eating enough because a lot of food you can get your water from your food. Like right
True.
now, y'all better not sleep on this watermelon that's out right now, honey. Watermelon, cucumbers, especially the watermelon. I eat watermelon every single day, at least twice.
That's me. I just cut one today and
Yes.
sliced into it. And my kids, they love watermelon too, but not
Mm,
like me. I
yeah.
When it's watermelon season, it be
Yeah.
so many watermelons now. My husband get tired of it. He be like,
Yeah.
look, you know, because
And
he's
look,
not a watermelon eater. He'll eat it
mine
every now and
neither.
then,
He
but
doesn't like it. Yeah.
yeah.
But and let me like relieve some of you. I know y'all hearing, oh well, you gotta get the seeded watermelon. Is the seeded watermelon better than the other one? Absolutely, because you should be eating the seeds. If you're traveling,
What? I've never heard of that now.
if you're passing all these grocery stores to get a seeded watermelon and you're not eating the seeds, you might as well get a seedless watermelon.
Are you really supposed to eat the
You're
seeds?
supposed to eat the seeds. Look up
What?
the nutritional value of the seeds. Now, mind you, I just swallow the seeds. I don't like to chew them.
Okay.
Yeah, if you get a seeded grapes, you should be eating the seeds. It has
Really?
nutritional value in them. Yes. So going back to your question about the water, don't think of just as the liquid water. Think about what can I eat to also help my urine be this color.
Right.
Go by the color of your urine because going to the bathroom was completely taking over my life. I don't think not one time that I could just walk into the bathroom to use it. I was just like, oh my God. And I'm just like, I can't keep living. This is ridiculous. And I wasn't losing a whole bunch of weight drinking all that water
Mm.
all day long. Just
I'm
look it
glad to
up.
know.
Okay? I'm telling y'all nothing that I have not experienced.
Honey, I'm glad to know because I'm not a water drinker anyways.
Yeah,
But
eat the
but
food.
when I feel like I'm getting dehydrated, I definitely would
Mhm.
turn to it. But
Yeah,
watermelon,
but the watermelon is going to help me.
mm,
And then juice your watermelon. I would do watermelon, mint, and pineapple. And you juice that, add ice cubes in it because sometimes they can get a little frothy. And if you put
mhm.
it in your refrigerator, you're gonna have to shake it up before you drink it because it'll separate. But it's really good, and you could drink. Those are your liquids right there to get not just plain water, because plain water. Girl, look, we could have a whole nother show about water. Even the plain water,
Bet.
yeah, you're not getting any electrolytes in the plain water. So if you're
True.
going to drink water, go and get some key limes and squeeze the key, not limes, not lemons, unless you can't find key limes. So I don't want to give nobody no excuse. Oh, well, I can't do it because I can't find key limes. If you don't see key limes, go ahead and put a lime or lemon in your juice. That's another thing that I teach my clients because we give up so fast. We give
We
up
do.
so fast. I can't find no key lime, so I ain't even gonna worry about it. We'll put a
That be
lemon.
me.
Put the lemon in. Yeah. So yeah, you can juice
Absolutely.
your watermelon with some other, fruit too, and that will help you too. And the seeds, just juice it
Okay.
all together.
I'm gonna try that. I promise you I am.
Yeah.
So how important is sleep in losing weight?
Sleep is very important, and not even just with losing weight, it's just waking up feeling good and feeling refreshed. And you have to do it in a certain way where you know that it is enough sleep for you. I only need
Right.
about 3 hours of sleep. I have a lot
Ooh,
of energy. Right now my energy is kind of low because I have to get iron infusions a year because of my surgery. I don't absorb the iron from my food. So I'm kind of a little tired right now. But easily I could sleep on 3 hours a night. What you need to do more importantly than focusing on the hours, you need to focus on what you're doing before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. Now, I know y'all gonna be mad. Get off your phone at least 60 minutes before you go to bed. Stop absorbing that blue light. Do not touch
Mm.
your phone as soon as you wake up, right? I always give my clients certain affirmations to say before they go to sleep. You want to meditate, you want to do some breath work. And these are all the things that are like right here. It's free.
Right.
Breathing differently is free. You don't even have to pay for it. Another way that we lose weight is through breathing out, and people don't even realize that. So when you're taking all these shallow breaths all day, honey, if I knew, okay, I can lose some weight, I'm gonna be all day.
Right. I know that's real.
You know what I mean? So, do your research. And I always tell my clients, I need you to come with an open mind. Because number one, you're gonna think I'm crazy. But number two, I'm proof that all of these different things that I've done, and I just decided that I was going to keep an open mind. And you don't have to believe anything that any magazine says, that anything you Google says. Do your own research, which is what I did. I did the research and it just worked best for me. But that main thing was changing my mindset about every single thing that I thought about. And I do the affirmations because it's hard to change how you think. Your personality is set by the age of 32. So if you're over 32, it's going to be hard to change the habits that you're used to doing.
True.
It's going to be hard to change how you think about things. You may hate the color blue. I don't know why, because I'm a Zeta, but that's another thing. That you may hate a certain color, and every time you see it, you're going to be like, oh, that's so ugly. So to change that, you're going to have to come up with an affirmation like blue is beautiful. And I'm
Right.
just using that very loosely. But it takes time to change something that you have ingrained in your personality, in your DNA. So you just have to be patient and you have to practice. It is a lifestyle change. I will never stop saying affirmations. And I create new ones for whatever my new goals are. I'm also a vision board expert. So I do my vision boards in a different way. And you always have to come back to your basics and you have to self-reflect because what you thought you may have wanted, I thought I wanted to be skinny, is may not be what you really want. And in
Right.
order for you to find that out, you got to sit and talk to yourself.
Agree.
Yeah.
So what was your motivation?
My motivation was I was just so tired. I know 674 pounds is a lot, but what really weighed the most for me is the hopelessness that I felt.
Mm.
No matter, and I would get up every day like I'm going to try today, I'm going to do this today, but that hopelessness was so heavy in my spirit that it was just sitting here where I didn't believe that anything was ever going to become good in my life. And I say that my weight saved me from not committing suicide because my fear was, number one, I didn't want to embarrass my husband because they were going to have a lot of people to come and move my body out the house. I can't do that to hell. You know what I mean? So the one thing that caused me the hopelessness was the one thing that saved me as well. So my motivation, I wanted to be light. And I don't want to confuse that with being skinny. What I mean by light is I wanted to, if a friend called me and said, hey, we're going here today, you want to go? I could just jump up, throw on a cute pair of jeans and put on a cute outfit and walk out the door. I could
Mm.
not do that at 674 pounds. Honey, you call me now, be ready in 30 minutes. I can put this face on. I call this my COVID makeup. I only do right here and some lip gloss because my going to play bass has completely beautiful eyes. I made up a word. My skin. So, I wanted to be light. Is the that's a good question, because most people say, "Oh, my children, my family." No, it was me, because I know that I
Right.
couldn't be the wife, I couldn't be the mother, I couldn't be the employee, I couldn't be anything. The teacher, and I realized that I went into teaching because I love a stage. Could you imagine having an audience all day? And you could influence that audience and make them feel good, and teach them things that they didn't know the day before. Now you taught them. So I
Mhm.
wanted to be who I knew I was inside, and I was stuck. So my motivation was me, the person that I knew that I was. So yeah.
Right. So did you have any roadblocks?
Oh, plenty of road. I was a roadblock. I was getting in my way all the time. I getting, starting a business. I get in my way all the time, even with my business, and then I have to stop and say, all right, I'm gonna need you to move now. I'm gonna need you to move. I'm gonna need you to jump. So the roadblocks was really me not believing in the power that I actually had to produce what I wanted. And once I realized that abundance was my birthright, and that's one of my affirmations that I say, and once I really started to tap into being grateful and practicing gratitude, I wake up now, thank you, God, for another day to live in my joy and to make a difference, live in my purpose and to make a difference.
Right.
That allows me throughout the day to remember that that is my goal for the day. Even before I came on here with you, my prayer was, just give me one person that's watching that didn't feel good about their situation, and now they have some hope about their situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think they definitely would take
I
in
hope
everything.
so.
So
Yeah.
I think they will.
Yeah.
So what were some of the things that you did to start for gaining any of the weight back?
I think it is not think. I'm very strong in this. I'm telling you, it's the affirmations. I say them all day, every day. Right now my main affirmation is I'm a high raw vegan, and I haven't completely transitioned. It took me a whole year to completely stop eating meat. I give myself grace. And sometimes you may feel like, oh, that's a little fit, but girl, look, I'm trying to change over here. I don't care what you say. So I would tell people, if they say, well, what are you doing now? Oh, I'm a high raw vegan, honey. And not completely yet though, but that is my affirmation. And that helps me to stay on track. And I've changed who I am. So it's not as easy. Like, you couldn't walk in here, or we couldn't go to a restaurant and you say, oh, why don't you try these chicken wings? Because I'm gonna look at you like, I done told you I don't eat meat. Like, I really mean that I don't eat meat. Like, I
Right.
knew before, 8 years ago, I know I just had some little meat the day before.
Right.
But those affirmations keep me focused, and eventually you start believing what you're saying. So I really
Absolutely.
don't eat meat. So the thought of gaining anything back, I used to be fearful. It took me a long time to get rid of my clothes, because I had the fear of gaining the weight back, because I had been heavy for so long. So I just knew it was coming back. So now I do still have a whole bunch of my clothes, because girl, they were too cute to go to Goodwill. I'm gonna have to find somebody.
Find
But
somebody. Yeah.
it's hard to find some plus size clothes, and them little slacks from Lane Bryant, they like $70, and I got like
Ooh,
15, 20 pair. I'm not giving them to Goodwill.
I know that's real.
So I've held on to
That's
them.
expensive.
Yeah, because when I give them the way, I want to give them to somebody who really, really needs them, and
Right.
that they can feel beautiful when they wear them. But the
Right.
gaining of the weight, I don't have I can't tell you that I really do anything intentionally so I won't gain the weight back. It's just who I am now.
Right. So
Yeah.
do you feel like a person should keep going even though they don't see the results?
Girl, you better keep on trucking and trucking on. Keep on trucking and trucking on. I use waist beads a lot. Number one, because they're sexy. Okay. As
So
y'all,
do they really work?
girl, let me tell you. Number one, they're just. I don't even have mine on today. Um, they work because really what you should do is either put on a pair of waist beads, and you should have like 3 or 4 of them, because I'm telling you they're sexy. You're gonna feel sexy on them, and it's like a little secret, because you're supposed to wear them on the inside of your clothes. I know all these little girls now, they got them on the outside. It's supposed to be for you, right? And or buy a dress that you have or that maybe is a little tight and you try on the dress. That is what you should go by. Do not just go by the numbers on the scale or you're going to be very, very disappointed because I'm telling you, you could have a night where your legs swell for some reason and you get up and you're like, well, how did I gain 2 pounds since yesterday? Well, you really didn't gain 2 pounds. So
Right.
I like to use the waist beads. I do have a dress that I purposely bought that was too small. Not because it was too small. I bought it because they didn't have my size. And I was like, oh, I'm not
Right.
going to do that dress because it's cute. But guess who won't be disappointed if I never fit into the dress? Because
You.
my goal every day is to feel amazing about myself and to be able to move and be mobile. I think we focus so much on what your body looks like, and everybody's body is different. And I got a secret for y'all. They airbrush these bodies in these magazines. So if that's
I
your
believe it.
goal, yeah, if that's your goal, you setting yourself up for failure. And I still got fat rolls. I still got all this hanging skin on my arm, and I am gonna get this cut off because my elbows are starting to hurt. But if you think that I don't think I'm sexy now, but wait till the skin get cut off, honey, I'm be extra sexy.
I
Okay.
know that's real. So, do you have any before and after pictures that you can show the viewers?
I do. Well, I sent on. I have that one that I sent you. Now you know
Mhm.
I do not how to work this. I got a whole bunch of before pictures now.
But that's all right because I can show them on my phone,
Yes,
just in
show
case
them.
they didn't get
Oh,
it.
you
But
mean on
I
your
did
phone?
post it.
Yes,
I did post it
you
on
did.
my page as well. You know the
Girl,
flyer.
that
But
was the morning. That was the. Oh, here I got one. That was the morning. Now y'all see my ring
do
light.
y'all see that?
That was the morning of my surgery in that purple right there.
Oh, you
And I
can't say
wish.
she ain't snatched, honey.
Yeah, you can't see my. Oh, you can see my shoes a little bit. Y'all know them shoes when they start rolling over.
Stop.
And yeah, my shoes, girl, my feet were like this. And I had
Mm.
to sit on the side of the bed and hike a leg up the time and then turn around, hike it. Now, girl, I could just bend over real cute, tie my shoes.
Hello.
Those are the things, those are the things that you should be striving for,
Right.
not a weight, not a number on a scale. Because you may be able to tie your shoes. Let's say you have 200 pounds to lose. You may be able to tie your shoes after you lose 50. That deserves to be celebrated. Don't wait until
Absolutely.
you lose 200 pounds to feel amazing about yourself. Go shopping. Go shopping with the intention of knowing that I'm going to bless somebody else with these clothes because I'm not going to be able to fit into these clothes much longer. Like you got to start talking to yourself and be your cheerleader. I am my cheerleader, honey. I have to be. I can't
Absolutely.
depend on anybody else.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. You got a lot of confidence and I love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So what could you tell someone who is struggling with their weight that wants to um kind of do something that you're doing but don't know where to start?
Yeah. I always thought, well, I always got something y'all can start with now. And I'm going to put this in the chat. I have started like a checklist on how to start with affirmations. And so I think it's like 4 pages. And I give you starter affirmations to start with because I always try to take out the possibility of someone coming up with an excuse. Well, I don't know how to write an affirmation. That's good. I got 10 of them for you. Just choose 2 or 3 of them. There you go, right there. And then I have the instruction in that too, so that they can say those affirmations. I say you must say them in the morning. You're going to want to write them. Go to Marshall's, get yourself, or TJ Maxx, get yourself the cutest journal ever, because I always tell people you have to surround yourself with beautiful things. I
Mhm.
only write in purple ink. I use the friction pens because they erase. So I'm very strategic and specific about how I surround myself with the things that make me feel really, really good. So you can even Google beginning affirmations for extreme weight loss or for weight loss. Don't give yourself an out. So you need to have some non-negotiables. And so once you have those non-negotiables, because when you start to negotiate with yourself, you just negotiate yourself right out of doing the thing that you say you
Right.
want to do. So if you say, I'm going to say my affirmations every morning at 7 a.m., and then I'm going to write them, and then before I go to bed, I'm going to do that again, that is your non-negotiable. I don't care what is going on, unless somebody is sick and, take your pen and your paper to the ER with you. So while you sitting there for 5 hours, because you know you're going to be sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
write your affirmations and say them. And I always like to tell my clients, you need to say them out loud. It's totally different, because when you say it in your head, it's like, I'm cute, curvy, confident. That's different when you looking in the mirror. I'm cute, curvy, confident. It's different. You have to be specific in how you're saying it to yourself too. Well, it's easy for me to lose weight. I'm giving y'all affirmations right now. So if you say it's easy for me to lose weight, you can't say it's easy for me to lose weight. No, girl, it's easy for me to lose weight. You got to be serious about it. You got to
Right.
say it with a little attitude. So I, tell people you got to say it in a way that you can't not believe it. You cannot believe it.
Absolutely.
So just start with some affirmations, and I'm gonna find that link, and I'm gonna put it. It's a flip book, so you can use it on your phone, and it'll give you starter affirmations. Um, the affirmations are key. I stand by the affirmations, because that is where you need to start before you even decide what type of nutritional plan or way of eating that you want to do, because once you change in here, you can follow any type of plan. If you choose to go to Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or what have you, you'll go and you'll be successful, because you've changed here and here in order to stay and stick with the program, if that's what you choose, that program to help you lose the weight.
Absolutely. Okay, so she will be linking a code, guys. And she's all gonna also gonna send it to me, and I'm gonna put it on Facebook, where you can get a certain percentage
Yeah,
off.
so you'll get offer. I'm having an event coming up in Baltimore, Maryland. It's in Lithicum. It's right by BWI Airport. So, and the hotel will come and get you 24/7, bring you to the hotel. It's a cute, curvy, confident weight loss and wellness retreat. And so, if you think that you are coming to learn how to diet and all that stuff, y'all, we're gonna have a good time. We are going to have a good time. I'm going to be teaching you my framework. I'm going to be talking about every single thing that I do and still do, because it is my way of life now. And that's why I always say, keep it off. It's easy to lose the weight, but we often gain it back. So I'm going to give you the tool that you need, so that when you lose the weight, you can keep it
Keep
off.
it
We're
off.
doing vision boards. I got a DJ. We're going to do a pose and runway workshop for the platinum ticket holders. And so you could get $50 off of your ticket. And that's, look, when people say you can multitask, that's not true. And I'm telling you that as a teacher. So I had to stop for a minute so I could type it in the thing. You cannot do two things at once. So I just put the promo code in there. And then before we hang up, I'm going to put the link so that you can download your free book, like a weight loss just starter kit to start you off with the affirmations.
And send both of them to me so I can make sure I
Yeah,
put it on Facebook.
absolutely.
So anybody who doesn't see it here, they'll still be able to go on Facebook and
Okay.
link to it, and also get your percentage off.
Yeah.
Um, let the viewers know where they can, what platforms they can follow you on.
You can follow me. I'm on everything, y'all. I'm on TikTok. Yeah, I'll be on it dancing too.
I know
And
that's
I'm
right.
on TikTok, I'm on IG, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Not so much on Twitter, but I do have a Twitter account. And I'm on Threads too now. Fan base. What else? Spill, I'm on there too. As Dr. Daryl, and that's one R, two L's. I know y'all want to think that I'm a boy and all that stuff, but I'm not. So it's one R, two L's. It's Dr. Daryl, no period after the R, but maybe some may have a period. I don't know, but y'all would be able to find me,
Find it.
and just follow me. I just share what I'm doing. I share like recipes. I come on, I'm dancing. I'm just so full of gratitude, because I never thought, if I had to say something to the 15-year-old me, I'll be like, girl, it's gonna get so good. It's gonna get
Right.
good. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely agree. So guys, go follow her, like her page. Make sure whenever I put the link on my page, you guys go. She's dropping them gems, so y'all make sure y'all go in and copy and do what you need to do. But Dr. Dara, I want to thank you so much for being a guest. I enjoyed it plenty.
Me too. Thank you so much. Eat your
Thank
seeds and
you.
your watermelon now. Don't forget.
I won't forget. Y'all will not forget either, watermelon lovers. But again, thank you so much for being a guest. Until next time, guys, y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
Riches Podcast is a dope podcast that is available on any podcasting platform, including YouTube, Apple, and Spotify podcasting. It is the perfect podcast to brighten your daily mood. It teaches you about motivation and responsibility with financial growth. Check it out today. Smooches. Peace.